Welcome to Truth Behind the Culture. This is your host, Culture Shots. Thank you for tuning in. In this episode, we're going to talk about gangs, right? But this is going to be a different spin on gangs. You get what I'm saying? Because they try to demonize every single thing we do. And I shouldn't say try. They have succeeded in demonizing every single thing we do. And for better substance, making a problem out of every single thing we do, right? So let me break something down to you, right? When we first came about, we were tribal people. Tribal people. Whether you were African, whether you were Indian, whatever you was, we were tribal people, right? Aboriginal, doesn't matter. We were tribal people, right? And with that being said, we have never believed in a time and a place where we are not going to be a tribe, right? This is a part of our matriarchy, and this is a part of how we conducted ourselves as people, right? And in general, everybody's born with a family. Everybody's born with their own tribe in general, right? So with that being said, right, we as a tribe used to have particular areas, particular places we live, right? In today's world, those would be called neighborhoods, right? And now they're called hoods, projects, right? But before there was projects, before there was hoods, before we've been displaced out of our natural environment, right? We were tribal people, and we were building our own communities from scratch. Like, nobody went and go build a house for us or built a building for us. Nah, we built all that ourselves, right? With that being said, our tribes wasn't always consist of family. Our tribes was consist of frequency and vibration, right? Our tribes was consistent of, there was a certain frequency of people that was doing that. There was a certain frequency of people doing that, right? We all vibe with each other. We was all vibing on the same vibration, but we needed a different tone to get things done. Like, the best example I could give you is a song. You can't just play one instrument and call it a song, right? It's like, within that instrument, you have to play different strings and different sounds, right? You can't just play, one string, one sound, and just call it a song. You need to variate that sound, right? You need to have placement for that sound, right? So with that being said, we had to have placements for us, right? We needed a group of us over here doing this, which is, let's say there's a group of us over here being the protectors, right? Which is what your gangs will be today. There's a group over here that's your architects. There's a group over here that's doing the cooking and the cleaning. And there's a group over here doing the hunting and gathering, right? Now, you could say it had a lot to do with gender roles, but let's just not go there. That's a different topic. But let's just say this, right? Before gender roles came about, it was really just about who could really get the job done. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're looking for somebody who could get the job done. At the end of the day, doesn't matter who really fixes the plumbing, or isn't it the most important thing is to have the plumbing fixed, right? Who could get the job done, right? So we had different jobs to do, right? We were used to moving like this. This is something that's in our DNA, that's installed in our DNA, that's installed in our epigenetics that you would never, ever, ever be able to take away. I don't care how far along or how much you displace us, we're always going to tribe up. That's just what we do. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're always going to find like vibrations, like frequencies, like energy, like people, like-minded people to be around, to enjoy their presence in their companies, right? All right. So with that being said, right, gangs. We could go easily to, like, I can give you the example of Crip, you know what I'm saying, Community Revolution and Progress, Blood, Brotherly Love, Overcome something Destruction, kind of forget it. But, like, listen to this. That right there, even that in itself is a tribe, right? And within this neighborhood, right? There's this neighborhood, there's this hood, right? Within this hood, there's hundreds of people. Could be thousands of people, right? But then you got another sub-hood over here, right? That got hundreds or maybe thousands of people too, right? Now, mind you, where I'm from got one of the biggest projects in the whole of America. Do you hear me? And that's not initially where I'm born from, but that's where I'm raised. Got one of the biggest projects in the whole America, right? The whole America, mind you, right? Do you know how many people live in those projects? Right? So, what's a tribe? A tribe is a group of people that come together and have like-mindedness. They coming together, they're doing something, they're bonding, right? It's a bondage, right? What is a tribe? A tribe is a bondage between people that agree to survive together and sustain themselves together, right? What is a gang? A gang is a bond between a group of people that agree to live together and sustain together and protect each other, right? So when gangs first came about, the Warriors movie. You could see clearly in Warriors movie, it wasn't about blood or crip, or it wasn't about none of that. It was based off your neighborhood and where you was from. Now, I know it does sound stupid, like why y'all beefing over neighborhoods, but that's not the beef, right? This is the beef right here. You got people that's not from your neighborhood coming to your neighborhood to steal, to grape, to unalive, to cause chaos, to beat up your friends, to harass your family. Now, mind you, before, like I said, before it was a colored thing or any other thing, it was a tribal thing, right? So we went against other tribes. Now, in my instance growing up, it was racism. You know what I'm saying? It was them other kin folks down the block, right? Or it was them other ones that was doing that nasty, dirty work that we didn't want to be a part of, right? And when you have a group of people that become hard to handle, that feels like they can bully, they can manipulate, they can take advantage of, they can do anything to anybody because they are a group of people that feels like they're more superior than others, then this is where other group of people has to rise and protect what set other group of people plans on destroying, right? So this is the dynamics. It's like I have my tribe, I have my people, I have my hood. You're not coming in here and touching nobody. And if you do, you're going to have to come see us. We'll be the first ones to let y'all know. And that was another thing. When I was growing up, the police wasn't policing the communities. They wasn't even allowed in the hood. They couldn't roll through the hoods and cars and stuff like they doing now. They couldn't. Trust me, they was scared to, bro. They wasn't coming in the hood, running down, hemming you up and doing, nah. It would have been a fight. There was no way the police was running down on you like that and you was in a closed space or an environment where they was just hemming you up and doing what they want with you and your friends and your family was around. No. They was pulling out a gun on you with your friends and family around. No. Nobody was standing around screaming, no, don't stop, please, hands up, don't shoot. No, we was on that body. On that body. No. What are you doing? You crazy? They left before anything. And I'm not saying this to incite violence or nothing. This is just allegedly, and this is just from my past experience. You get what I'm saying? Like, if that's how it was growing up. And mind you, I was a kid, right? So this not even talking about me per se, right? I'm talking about how it was growing up, right? So that's how it was, right? The police and the people who was trying to do harm, the other races, this is what our tribes and our gangs was doing. They was protecting us. They was making sure we didn't have to go outside and worry and stress our brains and not be able to go and feed our family because these idiots over here is trying to destroy us. You get what I'm saying? Like, and they were taking from you, robbing you, doing all types of stuff, right? Part 2.